Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I am back again doing your February 2016 monthly tarot horoscopes. This is for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in the lovely Aries. Now, the most obvious update that I have is that I'm now charging for my sex and relationships videos. I'm renting those out. The biggest thing to remember is that when you're on an iPhone, it does not prompt you to make the payment when you're on your cell phone. So you need to be on a desktop or laptop in order to pay for those videos. Okay, they are pretty much accessible in pretty much every single country, and I've checked off pretty much every single country that YouTube allows, so you should be able to view it. There are a few countries that it's restricted to, but again, if you're watching this video, I'm not charging for the regular general readings. That said, I did a separate video on my update for the rentals, and in that video I also said, just kind of, to reiterate that message, that I may be charging for my general readings in the future. But as of right now, I am not, so I don't want anybody to panic and be upset. That's just, I chose to do the sex and relationships because I don't really do them that much. That said, I may end up doing them more now that I am, renting them, and people really seem to enjoy watching them and seem to continue watching them. So we'll see. The other, thing is I do have a website, and I do have a calendar that shows all my availability through the end of February. However, that calendar does not notify me if you would like to request a certain day or time. It's just a calendar. I will show. Excuse me, I'm getting those little bubbles again from my kombucha drink that I'm drinking. It's this awesome brew, Dr. Kombucha. I really love it. This is the white rose one. Anyways, it gives me like these little bubbles. What was I saying? Oh yeah, my calendar page is just a calendar. So if you try to schedule through there, it's not going to work. You need to email me, elizabetholson31@gmail.com. Everything is on my website. All my information is on my website, and I will provide a link if I can right here for you. So those are the things. Those are like the main things that I think I really wanted to mention. It's a lot, actually. But definitely reach out to me if you'd like a private reading. There's a services page which talks a lot about my readings and what the services that I offer. And I do offer a lot of different ones. So definitely check it out. So I'm going to lay out a spread here for you guys. This is for everyone, again, with their ascendant, sun, or moon in Aries, okay, for February 2016. And this is a general reading, guys, so keep that in mind. There's going to be a lot of different people watching this video. I want to say, actually, despite, there's a couple of cards that, concern me, that, maybe middle of February is going to be more of a challenging time for you. But I feel like the rest of it is actually a really good month, I should say, for you. Really fine form, Aries. Really fine form. Thumbs up on that. I feel like you may be feeling good. You may be looking good. You may be kind of just like on top of things. There may be some conflict, and I'm just going to start off with the card that's crowning you. There may be some conflict in, I want to say, the beginning of February. Either with family, or, this could be a friend, or within your relationship. This is, to me, the conflict card. It is also the Knight of Swords, which is Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. And it can be male or female. It could also be a Cancer or Scorpio. I have seen it as Cancer or Scorpio. So, you may be like an Aries with like a Gemini ascendant or a Gemini moon or something like that. Or you may be a Scorpio with like, like an Aries rising or something. You're watching, and for you as well. So I want to say that this is, it could be you being in this very strong mode of, I want to say the attack mode. Okay, it's the control mode too. It's wanting to control things needing to go your way, always needing to get your way. This is being fierce. This is the Aries being fierce, and Aries is very fierce. So ladies included, this is not necessarily just for the guys here. Although you may be in a relationship, Aries females may be in a relationship with, again, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius male. That's first and foremost, okay? Or dating one, okay? You may have some problems in your relationship because you have this Two of Swords in the immediate future. For those of you who are in a relationship, I feel like the Two of Swords is where you don't talk. You come to a point in time where you don't agree, and it's just like a train wreck, because it can build up to a train wreck, but it might not actually happen because Aries avoids conflict. So this is just the silent treatment where your partner is not talking to you, or your partner doesn't want to talk, or there's no communication with your partner. This is the disconnect also. You may not have talked to this person in some time. You know, this is where a lot of times people call me and they say, well, I want to know if we're going to get back together. I want to know what's happening with this person. And this is where I say, most of the time, if you haven't heard from that person for a week, 2 weeks, it's over. That's it. Done. Case closed. Okay. Why? Because the way, especially if this is a guy, can be girl too, but the way guys operate is if they're interested in you, you'll know. That's it. If like they like, and I've said this in a different video, I know, but like in that movie, He's Just Not Into You. He says, the guy in the movie says, if he's into you, he's going to book the second date. If he's into you, he's going to call you. He's going to text you. You're going to hear from him. Period. End of story. This is where women don't really accept how either the relationship ended, they didn't get closure, or they don't want to accept that the relationship's over, even if he did tell you to your face or through an email or through a text, hey, I don't think this is going anywhere. You know, you can always tell a good guy by how he breaks up with you. If he broke up with you, like to your face or through, you know, an email or something where he's actually telling you this is over, I don't want to go forward, it's respectful, okay? And he's a good person. He's a good guy. But if he breaks up with you, like where he doesn't give you any closure at all, or he doesn't bother calling you, he just ignores you, he's a chicken shit. He's not worth your time anyways, okay? Or if he doesn't close it off at all, it just kind of comes in and out of your life, which this also person may do, because this person is this is the bloody waker card, okay, aka the asshole, who isn't emotionally available. The reason a lot of times this person is not emotionally available is because most of the time they're in another relationship or they're married. One or the other, or both. So, and I feel like for some of you who already are married and this is your partner, or you're in a relationship with someone and you're not communicating, there's issues there. There's major issues there, okay? Because you have the Five of Wands, which is a guy who's running for the hills, but this is also problems, okay? This is the shit piling up, the shit getting deep. I lost another card. And you also have the heartbreak card. The heartbreak card, the terror, fear of getting hurt, card feeling drained. Do not get into, you and Pisces, you know, if you're in a relationship with a Pisces, don't get into it with them, okay? It's not good to get into it with them, okay? It's not healthy. If you get into this conflict, this is where this conflict is the shit hitting the fan, okay? This is the shit hitting the fan. You know, problems, one after the other, after the other, after the other. Let it go, Aries. Put down the sword. I feel like you're fired up over something, and it's just not worth your time. It's not worth your time, nor your energy. Let it go. That's what I want to say. Just let it go. It's going to be very hard for you to do this because you're in full-blown armor mode. You're in full-blown Mars freaking, I don't know what's going on with Mars, but it's messed up, okay? It's this very raw, angry energy. This is your shadow self, and this is like who, on another level, this is like you needing to tone it down and understand who you really are, and understand that you have the power to go ahead without the conflict. You can have peace in your life and still get your way. You can have peace in your life and still be in a healthy relationship. You can have peace in your life and still communicate well with your partner. So all of these things need to be learned. This is healthy self-love. This is also, which is needed, okay? A healthy understanding of where your limits are, where you begin and where you end, okay? What's okay, what's not okay. But this is conflict. On some, level, this is a lot of conflict. And this is crowding you and moving into the immediate future. Now, like I said at the beginning of February, there's a lot of positive cards here also. So I don't feel like this is the only thing that you've got going on, which is good. If you have an unhealthy relationship, this needs to be cut off and moved on from, okay? This may be like a residual, like, divorce or separation that just really never really got solidified. Talk about not closure. I feel like for some of you really need closure on some level, but ultimately, if somebody's told you they don't want to be in a relationship, or if they filed for divorce, accept that it's over. If you've separated, it's over. Don't go back. It would be unwise to do so. Okay, you need to start fresh. You do have the Judgment card in the center of everything. There's two, you got both cards here talking about separation, okay? The Page of Swords to me talks about separation, and the Temperance card talks about separation too. The Temperance card is more like legal stuff. So you have the legal card plus the Judgment card plus separation. To me, that's where, you need to start fresh in relationships. You need to move away, or you may already have moved away. You need to kind of get out of Dodge. For female Aries, this is you moving out. This is you separating from your partner. This is you starting over. This is you saying, fuck it, fuck it. Fuck it all. Don't fight with them. Don't talk to them, okay? This is, you may operate on two levels. One, where you don't talk, and then you may feel like you have a need to talk, but then the minute you open your mouth, conflict happens, okay? So you need to be careful on what you're saying when you're saying it. Be careful of the tone you're speaking it in. Make sure that you have healthy communication, that you don't let yourself get fired up over small little things. If it's a serious, you may even want to write down what you're going to say prior to saying it. Write down your thoughts. Read it to them like a letter. Write them a letter and say and then cross out some of the angry moments and just communicate the important stuff. You might want to do that. It would be healthier than going in. The minute you open that mouth, it's like it's abrasive. Okay, I feel like for some of you, you're not filtering. It's abrasive because it's like the communication you're having with the person, it's not healthy communication. So therefore, you're rubbing them the wrong way. So the Page of Swords, okay, let's go back. Let's just say you're single, okay? Let's just say you're single, and the Page of Swords can be being lifted up out of hardship. I always say doing this, plucked out of the field that you're in and transplanted to someplace else that's better, okay? It's a better field of life, okay? It's a better financial outlook. You do have the Nine of Pentacles as the foundation. And the Nine of Pentacles is one of the fame cards. It's the fame and fortune card. It's about career, and it's about becoming well-known, doing something where you really come into your own power. And I like to see this as the foundation because that means you are standing on your own 2 feet. You're learning how to stand on your own 2 feet. And it is possible that you separated or you are separating for a reason because the universe is trying to push you to this point. I'm going to wink there. A lot of times, the universe works in mysterious ways. Why do we end up where we live? Why do we end up with the people that we're in? It's all this universal stuff that's kind of sort of magically influencing us and kind of nudging us and pushing us in the right direction. It is always the right direction, okay? It is us that uses our ego to choose the negative route, okay? But overall, okay, that aside, I do feel like you're moving into a positive time, okay? But I do feel like there's more that you're going to be going through as far as your relationship, if you are in a relationship that has deteriorated, or if you are getting out of a relationship that has deteriorated. There's more to go through. If you put down the sword and you say, I'm not going to deal with this fucking shit anymore. I'm not going to talk to this person. Communicate via letter, communicate via email. Do not let it blow up. Just don't let it get to that point. It's learning healthy communication. There is a book called The Dance of Anger, that a friend of mine gave it to me a long time ago. Or maybe I bought it. I don't remember. I think it was a friend of mine who gave it to me. And it was very interesting. And this friend is an Aries too. So, hi if you're watching it. So, I just think that basically, you learning in a way how to control your temper, how to kind of communicate in a healthy way, understand where you begin and where somebody else begins. That's also important. Aries kind of gets lost in this. Their head is like me sometimes, and not enough on other people in a healthy way. Sometimes Aries is living completely in the shadow of Libra, which is their shadow, which is all about everybody else. And there isn't, and then the minute they start to think about themselves, they go, well, what am I getting here? What's in it for me? What has my partner done for me? Why are they not doing this? Why are they not doing that, and that? They start to kind of pick at things, and then the status quo, which their partner has expected from them because they're living in that shadow of that Libra, which is everybody else, goes, what are you talking about, babe? I'm doing all this stuff. I love you. What's the problem? Why are we having an issue? And so this is where things start to break down, because the issue is that you've sort of set up the structure of your life, of your relationship to be a certain way. And then when something changes, that's the issue. So not Aquarius, well, it could be Aquarius, you may have some Aquarius too, but Aries is the person that can go for a long, long time in the same status quo and then have like this earth-shattering type thing. And I do feel like overall, February, there's going to be, and I've seen it with several of the other signs actually, there's going to be some kind of bubble bursting here. And I do want to say, there may be actually be some bubbles bursting in the world, in like, your community on a global scale. There's something going on. Just be careful. I want to say, for you, it is important for you to be aware of what other people are doing, be aware of your surroundings, be aware of where you're going when you're going there. I watched this movie, and I think I mentioned this in one of my other videos. I watched it recently. It's called French Kiss. It's an old movie with Meg Ryan and Kevin Kline. And the thing that really bugged me about the movie was that her head was in the clouds like 100% of the time. It was almost weird. And actually, I think Meg Ryan is an Aries, which is funny why I'm thinking about this. But anyways, her head was just in the clouds. She wasn't very much, like, I just felt like she was constantly, the whole movie, on the edge of getting robbed. In a way, she was robbed in the movie, but she was just, like, she wasn't paying attention to where her stuff was, where she was going, what she was doing. She just acted like she was completely lost the whole movie, and I just felt like it just made me uncomfortable to watch, actually. It was weird. I don't know, I was just, like, uncomfortable watching it the whole time. It was an interesting movie, made me think a lot about things, but it's an old movie, and it's almost like a glimpse from the past, a flashback, from a different time, actually. But, yeah, so, I mean, this is the kind of thing you want to avoid, okay? You want to kind of be in that present moment, do your yoga, do your meditation, be in the present moment. When you go out of the house, make sure you got everything you need, your keys, your water bottle, your purse, load your bag up like you're taking a trip, be prepared, because I feel like Aries try to live by the seat of their pants, and they always kind of live this way, and they always kind of say, well, it's totally going to work out. But sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes they get burned because things don't necessarily always work out the way they want them to, and then they get upset, okay? And a little preparation, I think, in this month will go a long way. A little planning will go a long way. A little hard work will go a long way. And a little bit of awareness of what's going on, where you are, what you're doing, okay? Ask yourself, where am I now? It's interesting because I went to school in Chicago, and there was a lot of foreign exchange people that were going to that school. And I felt like these foreign exchange people did not know where they were. They had no clue as to where they were or what they were doing. And it was interesting because there was this little mail office in the center of the dorm that I lived in. And this is how I know they had no idea where they were, because they didn't know their address. They didn't know the phone number. They didn't know what building they were in. They didn't know what city they were in. They didn't know anything, okay? And it was really to their detriment, because they weren't getting any of their mail, they weren't getting any of their things, they were just completely lost. And there are times in life where we're shit out of luck, and I feel like if you're not cautious and you're not careful and you're not aware, you may be kind of shit out of luck at, beginning to the middle for the first 2 weeks of February. You cannot act in the same way of expecting everything to happen the way you want it to. You have to put a little bit more effort and to make a little bit more planning and push forward in a positive direction. And leave the past behind you, because I don't necessarily feel like if you're in a relationship, I don't necessarily feel that this relationship was good for you. I feel like it's not necessarily them per se, but it was the combination of the two of you. I want to say that. And the universe is telling you need to not focus on relationships. You need to focus on you. You need to focus on working. You need to focus on who you are in the world, what your gifts are, what you are doing. And I do feel like you're gonna get back again into fine form. You're going to be in this place of getting what you want, which is the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands gets what she wants, always. This is also a card about fertility. So for a lot of those of you ladies, childbearing age, you got to be careful. If you already have kids and you're like, I don't want any more, take precautions. Glove up, okay? I don't see a lot of guys in this reading. I really don't. I see, a couple crowning you, which means either you're in a relationship right now or you're dating right now, but I feel like things are going to change where you're kind of maybe going through a little bit of a dry spell where you're not really getting it on with too many people. And that's actually okay, because again, the universe wants you to be in this place. And the outcome is the Queen of Pentacles, which I feel like is you. Because I've seen this be you before, Aries before. It's that fire element there. I don't often see it as an Aries, but in this case, I feel like it's you. You may have some other planets in Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer. You may be in a relationship with a Cancer. You may be in a relationship with a Taurus. You may be in a relationship with a Capricorn or a Virgo also, for the guys too. Or this could be girl-girl combination. A lot of ladies here. So Aries, I feel like either you're playing the field, you're dating around. There's a lot of different ones. You got the Queen, and you got two queens here. You got the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. For me, you're the Queen of Wands. But you can also be the Queen of Pentacles, because the Queen of Pentacles is the person that is working hard. It's the career woman. The woman who's empowered, but also in touch with nature. She's a mom, but she's also like on her soul path, which is doing something in the world. So she's not just like the stay-at-home mom. She's got things kind of in balance. She's very prosperous. She can be sometimes very wealthy. And I'm getting a tingle on this. So I feel like your goal, for the month of February, is to find that healthy balance between who you are at home, to your family, to your friends, and who you are in the world, to your community and the world at large. And I feel like some of you may be become very well known. This is the actress. This is the person who's the movie star, the music star, the film, to film. It can be the dream of becoming famous. And the fact that you have the outcome as the Queen of Pentacles, it may just happen for you. But the fact that you have the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles, the two ladies, usually are either have children, the Queen of Wands being you, usually has children on some level. You're too horned up most of the time not to. I have to say that. But anyways, the Queen of Pentacles is the beginning stages of pregnancy, finding out she's pregnant. Somebody who's very fertile, somebody who's focused on fertility, okay? So for those of you who are focused on fertility, this is a really great outcome for you. I really like to see this. Again, I feel like things are changing for the better for you. So by the end of February, I feel like you have kicked any kind of negative person in your life to the curb officially and been done with it, and you'll have moved on. Because you do have the Death card in the position of your attitude later down the line. So this is towards, again, towards the end of February. So I feel like death and taxes affect everyone. And I feel that either you're going to do your taxes this month or you're going to go through some changes, or both. This is changes. This is changing who you are. Again, who you are is very important to the Aries journey. Understanding who you are in the world, understanding who you are to yourself. This is the end of the old belief system. This is the end of the old. So you may be going through some personal changes. You may be moving. You may be moving again. You may be, focusing on a new relationship, and then you may be getting another one after that. This is where things change rapidly. I always say the Death card is sort of like the domino effect. It's like that boom, 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 change after change after change thing. You may be moving and you may be getting a new job. Those two things always go together, and a lot of times those two things happen with the Death card. I don't feel like this is an actual death. I do feel like this is just more transformation than death, than an actual death. This is the transformation of your life. Deciding to do different things. Because it's in the position of your attitude, this is you making those changes yourself. Saying, I want some change here. I want something to be different. I'm not okay with the status quo. And it's interesting because this is when you get fired up. This is the fire energy. And this is you're fired up about something, okay? Later in February. You may be watching this, obviously, in the beginning of February, and you'll be going, I don't know what she's talking about. Everything's very status quo. I've had the same job for 20 years. I'm never going to become a movie star. So what is she talking about, right? And then end of February, things really change. Your partner may file for divorce. You may decide to move out. You may decide, I don't want to be this anymore. I don't want to have the same job anymore. I'm making the decision, and you have this card in position of your emotions, to move on. And this is actually a really good thing, okay? This is the Ace of Swords. This is making the decision to get away, weeding out the negative in your life, moving on from troubling times, moving on from troubled emotions, using your sword of truth in a healthy way, okay? So, speaking your sword of truth is standing up for yourself, respecting yourself, loving yourself. When you speak up for yourself, you're loving yourself, but doing it in a healthy way. It's not lashing out at somebody else. It's not calling somebody a cocksucker. It is saying, you know what? I'm not okay with what you just said. I'm not okay in this relationship. I don't see this relationship going anywhere. It is time for me to move on. And have a nice day. That's it. It's pretty short and sweet, but that's what you need to say. Or you're just, to me, this is also the moving card again. Some of you are going to be thinking about moving. You may be moving out into something new. Some of you need to just go apartment hunting. I don't know why I'm saying this. Some of you just need to go look at apartments. You need to go look at houses, apartments. Get an idea of what's around you, make some plans, try to, I feel like you're really going to be pushing forward at the end of February. You're going to really be in a better place. I want to say better place. You're going to have moved on from some of this negative crap. You're going to move on from the unhealthiness of maybe a bad relationship or a relationship that's needed to come to an end. Aries guys, again, okay, Aries girls too. Aries guys, you're maybe playing the field. Aries ladies, you also may be playing the field because you have three different people here. Potentially three. Two, potentially three. The Knight of Swords and the Five of Wands dude, okay? I see this primarily as being Aries guys, though, so this could be an Aries-Aries combination. I don't necessarily see this the Knight of Swords as an Aries guy, but because they're very similar in color, to me it's like the same person. It's the same kind of energy. It's the same conflict. When this person meets this person, there's a lot of ruffled feathers. So it could be, you know, Aries guys going up against like a Gemini, Aquarius, Libra guy, you know. It may also be the Aries Cancer combination, which is the combination in my mind from hell, okay? For relationships, not necessarily for friendships, but like romantic relationships. I feel like it's the combination from hell. Aries Scorpio also too, combination from hell. If you're in an Aries Scorpio relationship, let me know. I want to hear about the dynamic of your relationship. The problem is that Aries has a natural fire. They naturally are a little bit sparky and a little bit fierce, and they need someone to kind of tone them down. The problem is if they're with the Cancer, Cancer's always going to have their feathers ruffled by everything that Aries does or says, so they're not really calm enough to really handle it. You know, something more grounding like Capricorn or Taurus sometimes works better for Aries because Aries fire doesn't ruffle so many feathers and on an emotional level. That's also Pisces. Pisces, Aries also has the same issue. And also because they're absorbing all that fire, that fierceness, it just makes them angry, upset. So yeah, I don't necessarily think, some of you Aries are dating multiple people. I want to say the guys more than the girls, but the girls also may be dating several guys too. Again, one of them is probably an air sign, the other one is probably a fire sign. And I think that's all. These are longer videos. I guess I'm so excited to do them this time around because I feel like everybody was so upset about me charging for the rentals. I was like, gotta be fired up about recording these. So let me know what you guys think of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and liking and subscribing. I feel like overall February is going to be a great month for a lot of people. Just make sure you're watching where you're going, what you're doing, keeping your eyes peeled, and thinking things through, and taking your time. So that's all I really have to say. I'm going to send you some rose, lovely, beautiful pink rose energy. I had red roses for my, I'll show you the, again, for my sex and relationship videos, and I got these ones for my birthday, so I'm sharing them with you, and I send you guys big hugs, big kisses. And I will be back again for your mid-February readings very soon, so stay tuned. Okay, take care. All the best. Bye.